Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have back with us Tyrone Clark, who is the president and founder of Brokers Choice of America, and we'll be talking about his brand new program called Annuity Hero. Tyrone, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, I've been enjoying our conversations in this series, and I'm excited to hear about this because it seems like when someone kind of gets to a point in their career that they say, here's a trend that is not just a fad or a flash in the pan. There's a progression here that something is needed. And with your background in the annuity industry, you saw a need for creating this project. And so I want to start with asking, what is your background in the annuity industry, and then why did you decide to launch the Annuity Hero project?
Well, my background, Mike, is in the fixed annuity industry, and it goes back to the early 1980s. I'm one of the few people that have been heavily involved in the annuity fixed industry, going back for almost 4 decades, believe it or not. And I fell in love with annuities. I'm 65, but I was probably 22 or 23 years old when I first learned about and fell in love with annuities. And I'll tell you why. Okay, annuities are the backbone and pillar of retirement security in our country. I can go very deep, all the way to the congressional record of why the federal government granted tax benefits to these products, which is for economic security of Americans. I can go into the tax laws and so forth, but the bottom line is this: safety, liquidity, tax advantages, competitive returns without risk, probate avoidance, simplicity, exchangeability, and income you cannot outlive. That has held true during my entire career for millions of consumers. So all over the United States, these are to me critical products for consumers, so that they have confidence and they can have peace of mind in their retirement years. That's just a little glimpse of my passion and mission about these products, Mike.
Well, it almost seems like there's misconceptions with anything. We know that, right? But back in the day, annuities used to have a black eye, and you used a great important term, which is fixed. And without getting into again details or anything, but I think that the annuity industry had part of that black eye because some of the variable annuities weren't as good as today. But today, when you have a fixed annuity and a fixed index, now all of those benefits you just rattled off become so powerful, and it becomes a gift that the advisor is able to give to their client, which is the gift of not having to open up their portfolio statement and almost have a heart attack when they see what the market did to their retirement portfolio, and maybe that's their only source of income. So being able to have a product where you're giving that peace of mind, guaranteed, can't lose money, guaranteed streams of income, all of those benefits, just as a gift that you're able to provide to your clients. Is that some of the things you've heard from the advisors that you're serving?
Well, Mike, when it comes to all these different types of financial products that are available out there, I kind of look at it in an interesting way. Let's pretend, Mike, that you're an artist and you've got a canvas in front of you. What you want to do is you're going to paint this magnificent portrait of a happy retirement for an individual. But on your palette, you have a whole variety of different types of financial tools to accomplish that happy retirement. One paint that you can mix, of course, with the others is the annuity. Now,
Mm-hmm.
of course, there's so many other wonderful products. You know, the variable annuities today, they've got incredible features. You've got something called RILAs. You got guaranteed yearly income annuities. You have such a huge variety to paint an incredible picture today that we never had before. So I don't like pigeonhole fixed annuities in just one part. I look at the whole thing.
Yeah.
But they're but the thing that I strive and I hope is that advisors have an open mind to looking at the entire picture. And then the goal is that that canvas, that painting that you paint with using the different paints as the different financial product tools, what I strive for is that is a painting of what's in the client's very best interest. Now, that being said, imagine if you're missing on your palette maybe the most important paint that makes that canvas look incomplete. So
Yep.
it is very important, in my opinion, that all advisors, CPA, accountant, tax preparer, enrolled agent, securities advisor, insurance advisor, every different type of advisor, if you work in a bank, okay, that you need to know and become educated from an unbiased position on the power of these products. I got to say this, okay? Right now, if you look at the entire United States population, there's a large segment of America's population of consumers. I'm talking about millions of people. And according to Dave Macchia, who I'm a big fan of, he calls this segment of our population as financially constrained, meaning
Mm-hmm.
they may not have adequate funds to retire. And based on Nobel Prize winning experts in economics that have touched upon some of the areas of the constrained investor, as Dave Macchia calls them, the only solution for the constrained folks is a lifetime guarantee income based on longevity. You cannot use some of the other instruments and other paints, so to speak, that will complete that guaranteed lifetime income for those folks. So in that
Yep.
case, the constrained investor, as Dave calls it, it's imperative that all advisors understand that. But it's sad that a lot of advisors are not even licensed to be able to provide that product. And when
You
all
know,
of us should be looking out for the best interest of that client. But let me just make a comment here. Here's why I think any advisor would love, well, hopefully, Annuity Hero. That's my goal, is to launch that, to provide that platform of education for all advisors. But one product in particular, of course, is the phenomenon of the index annuity, the fixed index. Now, of
mhm.
course, you have something that's called RILAs, which is tremendous. But I want you all to think about this. I'm able to provide a consumer safe and secured compounding growth, guaranteed and on a tax advantage basis, with the ability to capture a significant portion of index returns, such as the NASDAQ, the Dow, or the Russell, without having to risk my principal nor risk my prior gains.
Mm.
Being able to provide that for a consumer is essential, and it's imperative. And now you have the innovation of these products today, where you can have minimum guarantees for life, like today, 4% compounded, and get 75 or up to 90% of the growth of the S&P based on the period of time. That is simply a breakthrough. That's a
It,
paradigm shift,
Yeah,
Mike.
100%. And I
And
love your
yeah,
analogy about those artists. If you had 10 artists and said, paint me a house, you would get 10 different versions of a house. One would use one structure, one would use a different color, one would use a different type of paint. So we know that everyone should not have 100% of their retirement portfolio into one product, but when you're
right.
entertaining the benefits of an annuity, some of those benefits that you're explaining here, and some of these now new, wonderful products like you just explained, I think now it comes to the point where maybe an advisor is not as proficient in your knowledge. Like you wrote the book literally on the history of annuities, and now they have a place to come to, which is a national membership network, so that these agents and financial advisors that want to learn more and become proficient in annuity sales have a place to come to. So talk a little bit about what the Annuity Hero Project is and what that's going to provide for the advisor.
You bet. So now you mentioned that 10 different artists having different
Mhm.
pictures. All those 10 must still paint the picture of the house, like in this case, the financial house. They all must have a foundation under that
Yeah.
house, regardless of the different types of houses. But Annuity Hero, the idea is that it's a membership for advisors just to join to have access. But it's my goal is to have a nationwide network of advisors of all types, sources, backgrounds, education, licenses to appreciate the power of the annuity, which I call, the annuity hero. But let me just, I hope everybody's paying attention and want to key in on what I'm trying to accomplish. I want to provide for an advisor to go to one source and say, look, here's all the annuity software programs. Here's the annuity events. Here's the amazing annuity facts that I can research. Here's the annuity press announcements. Here's the history of annuities, annuity articles, annuity marketing, annuity newsletter, annuity social media, annuity educational videos, annuity consumer classes, seminars, workshops, annuity social media, annuity sales tools, annuity books, annuity lead programs, annuities in the news, annuity interest rate reports, the Annuity Learning Center. Who are some of the rock stars, the superstars in the annuity market? Annuities in relation to the IRS, annuities in relation to the government, annuities in relation to compliance, even
Oh,
annuity
huge.
merchandise swag. So I want one source finally where an advisor can go to and access all of that stuff that's been out there. Uh, and it's not about, the idea is not about pigeonholing annuities in a certain area, whatever. It's just like saying, hey, there's good and bad in everything, but where does this really fit? Where does it not fit? But to not even know about it is
Yep.
actually not a good thing. So that's kind of the idea. I know I kind of explained quite a bit there, but that's the idea here.
Well, it's obvious you put a minute or two worth of thought into this to have that kind of bullet point. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone is, and scripture teaches that there's nothing new under the sun. Well, there's nothing new about you having a learning center and having some articles, but when you have cultivated that into one spot. And so people, yeah, you can Google all kinds of things, but if you have all of this in one place and it's a one-stop shop to learn and hone their skills, I think that's spectacular. And I want to zero in on one thing you mentioned that I think that I feel like was one of the biggest benefits here is if you can now hear some of these superstars that are going, look, I'm an advisor just like you. I'm selling annuities, and here's what I'm doing to get new leads or to close the leads or to explain it better or to serve our clients better. Talk a little bit about the benefit of having some of these people that are in the trenches right now selling annuities that are like the superstars that you're able to tap into their mindset and learn from.
Well, that's a good question, Mike. I want to give you a real quick, close example. I was talking to a financial advisor who has never recommended or sold an annuity, but who is a brilliant investment advisor, a gentleman who goes through tremendous due diligence for each of his clients, somebody I really like and respect. And I love his background, which is very deep in the investment community. Now, that individual, when I started to teach him about the indexing accounting process, the way to examine a life insurance company's foundation of safety, the amazing index strategies that are all over the place today from all of the major Wall Street firms. Somebody like that who was like a kid all over again in a candy store saying, I never realized how these products really worked. I never realized the things that you can do with these products. Nobody's really ever taught me this or showed me this. He says, I got a whole new world now that I can add to my clients and everything they're doing. That's what to me was really exciting. But the thing is, where does somebody go to learn all that? I'll just give you an example. How about annuities and trusts? How do you name the beneficiary properly in relation to annuities? How do you use annuities in relation to income and attach that with maybe income from a reverse mortgage? There's so many things there. The goal is to have the world of annuities for everyone with Annuity Hero.
I love it. And I think that having that collaborative mastermind approach where there's industry leaders like yourself leading conversations, and then there's advisors out there selling every day to people, explaining what the wording is that they're using, and then having some of the protections like you were mentioning about compliance or Department of Labor and all of the things that come up. If you have your finger to the pulse of what advisors are going to be experiencing and faced, they don't need to worry about, let me go find it from some other source. It's that total resource connection for advisors to fully understand the power of annuities and how to bring it to light for their clients. So I think that is just such a spectacular vision and passion that you put together here. And Annuity Hero is something that is not out of reach for people and not some high price program. It's just a membership site, but the value that you're going to get out of that to collaborate with people all across the country doing the same thing that you're doing, I think is just a spectacular undertaking.
Well, I just want to mention this along with the whole thing about Annuity Hero is when it comes to the consumer, the goal, hopefully, for all the advisors is to empower them with education. Education is enlightenment, and it's empowerment for the consumer. So the goal is that if you have an advisor that is very well versed in the good, the bad, the ugly, so they know the whole spectrum, not just one-sided, so that they can make an objective, good decision about the companies, the products, where they fit, where they don't fit, where the shortcomings are. For example, many agents don't ask for the history of interest rates on a product. So many agents don't ask for a specimen contract and actually read a contract. My goal is to empower and through education all those different things. I can't do all of that myself. I have other experts that I will have participate and give their information, even experts that design the products, so that we could have the most educated professional annuity advisor that is out there today. That's some of the goals there of Annuity Hero.
Well, and I love your tagline, and we'll wrap up with this, which is you say annuities are America's powerhouse of retirement security. And so when that foundation is laid and you've got a one-stop shop resource to educate and guide advisors and bringing this to their clients, it's just as a win all the way around. So I would say, Tyrone, what is the best place that someone listening to this might learn more and reach out and connect with you?
Well, they certainly want to just go to annuityhero.com. And from there, they certainly could contact me. If they ever want to call my cell phone or even text it 720-560-1280, or they can send me a tclark@brokerschoice.com, or just go to annuityhero.com. Thank you,
Excellent.
Mike. I really appreciate today. I enjoyed it as usual.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time as well, my friend.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.